Long ago, in a quiet village in Enugu State, there lived an old woman known as Mama Grace. Her house was nothing fancy, just a small mud hut with a zinc roof that rattled whenever rain fell. She had no farm of her own anymore, no money tucked away, and no children living with her. Yet somehow, Mama Grace was always cheerful. In the morning, neighbors would hear her humming Igbo hymns as she swept her compound. In the evening, children gathered around her veranda to listen to her stories. And when quarrels broke out in the village, people often went to Mama Grace, knowing her words would calm their hearts. The villagers respected her, but they also wondered, what is Mama Grace's secret? Why is she never sad? One day, a young man named Ifeanyi decided to ask her. Ifeanyi was known in the village as a hard-working but easily discouraged youth. His small cassava farm often failed, and whenever things went wrong, he would sit by the roadside looking defeated. That evening, as the sun dipped low and painted the sky orange, Ifeanyi approached Mama Grace, who was roasting corn by her small fire. "Mama Grace, Biko, let me ask you something. I've watched you for years, and I can't understand it. You don't have much, yet you are always smiling. Even when others are crying, you still laugh. How do you do it? Don't you ever feel sorrow?" Mama Grace smiled, turned the corn, and patted the space beside her. "Nwam, let me tell you something. Who told you I don't feel pain? I have known sorrow, maybe more than many in this village. But I learned one thing. If you allow sadness to control your heart, life will crush you. Joy is something you must choose." Ifeanyi shifted uneasily. "But Mama, how can someone choose joy when their problems are plenty? Me, I don't even have money for fertilizer, and sometimes I sleep hungry. What joy can I find in that?" Mama Grace looked at him kindly. "I understand you, my son. Listen to me. Years ago, I had a husband. He was a carpenter. We were poor, but we had peace. Together, we raised 3 children. Then one day, my husband fell ill. We carried him from one chemist to another, spent every naira we had. But still, he died. My son, that night, I thought my life was finished. I cried until my eyes could cry no more. For months, I could not eat well. I hated to see the morning come. But then," she paused, her eyes glistening in the firelight. "One evening, I looked at my children's faces, thin, hungry, scared, and I realized if I continued to drown in sorrow, they would drown with me. So I made a decision. I said to myself, 'Grace, you must live again.' From that day, I forced myself to notice even the smallest blessings." Ifeanyi leaned forward eagerly. "Small blessings? Like what?" Mama Grace chuckled. "Sometimes it was the smell of egusi soup from a neighbor's kitchen. Sometimes it was hearing children laughing while playing football in the dust. Sometimes it was just waking up and seeing the sunrise. I told myself, if I can find one thing to thank God for each day, my heart will not break. That is how I survived." "So, what happened to your children?" That story for another day. But I'm sure they are resting now, and they must be proud of me." Ifeanyi sat quietly, thinking. Then he asked softly, "But Mama, what if another big tragedy comes? What if life throws something heavier? How can someone still be happy?" Mama Grace placed her hand gently on his shoulder. "Trouble is part of life, my son. The rain will fall, the storm will rage, but no storm lasts forever. When hardship comes, I remind myself, this too shall pass. And while waiting for it to pass, I hold on to what I still have, my health, my neighbors, the gift of life itself. That is the secret. Happiness is not given by wealth or comfort. It is a choice to see light even in darkness." Her words pierced Ifeanyi's heart. He went home that night and tried her advice. The next morning, instead of grumbling about his empty pockets, he noticed how beautiful the sunrise looked over the hills. He thanked God for the air he breathed. Later, when his cassava plants sprouted new leaves after a rainfall, he smiled instead of worrying about what might go wrong next. Day by day, Ifeanyi's spirit grew lighter. His neighbors noticed the change. "Ifeanyi, you are different these days." "What happened?" "Mama Grace showed me the secret of joy." And so he began to share her wisdom with others. Soon more villagers started to practice gratitude, and the community grew warmer and happier. From then on, people understood. True happiness is not about riches or a perfect life, but about gratitude, patience, and the choice to see good even in the midst of sorrow. Mama Grace's words lived on, long after her.